Let's expand that conversation and take you a little more in-depth into the business of gaming, at least in East Africa. Nathan Masyuko is the Director of NexGen, a games development company based here in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi. He's live in studio with us tonight. Nate, let's start with a question of localized content. Witcher 2, Witcher 3 coming out this year, based on European mythology, God of War series, Greek mythology as well, but none of those things have stopped them from being spectacularly popular. So to what extent is localized content really important in making a game commercially successful?
Thank you, Ramah. If you consider that games are another medium of telling a story, of sharing ideas, just like with the print press and books, and also with television and movies and TV shows, then it's important to kind of localize in terms of the stories you tell so that they can have an authentic feel. I think consumers today are looking for new stories to experience, and gaming is a good avenue for them to share these stories to the rest of the world.
Indeed, from a technical perspective, however, Nate, given the work that you do, aren't mobile phones the biggest potential gaming platform across Africa?
Potentially, yes. In fact, in terms of the widespread distribution across Africa, in practice, we're yet to find out what the actual consumer habits are in and around their mobile phones. The penetration of smartphones, how that dictates the penetration of games, and then also how the consumers, the people who have these smartphones, actually use games on those phones.
Indeed. Walk us through, however, the sort of challenges that you face in developing content for mobile phones as a gaming platform specifically, because the likes of, say, Respawn, for example, or EA or Sony Santa Monica, they face twin challenges of enormous budgets on one hand, but quite a bit of piracy and DRM management on the other hand. What sort of challenges do you face?
For us, it's the internet challenges. The fact that internet isn't spread as far into the continent as possible. And even where it is, it's kind of slow. So that forces us to make games that are very small in terms of distribution packet size, and that limits us to the kind of stories that we can tell.
Finally, Nate, with regard to monetization, because at the end of the day, this really is a business, you have to make money out of it. What model, in your experience, works best? Straight out sales, or are we looking at a freemium model, much like what we tend to see in South Korea, Japan, and so on?
I think a combination of sales as well as freemium models is the best way to go. You can't outright just say we're going to stick with this model and write off the next. If you have a game that's of a big size and it has the full story and you offer a freemium version of it, that might attract audiences who might end up just paying to play now the rest of the game. So I think a combination of the two would be a good way forward.
Indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you very much
Nathan Masyuko.